Hi guys, hope we're good. Just wanted to jump on here and shoot a short video to give you some wins, lessons and struggles from the first buy-to-let that I've done by myself completely. Obviously the ones before have been with a business partner. A couple of months ago, we decided to kind of part ways, and I've learned a lot of lessons from it, from doing everything myself and kind of doing all the planning, the managing and all those kinds of things. So I just want to make a few shares and lessons so that you can potentially use this going forward. So the purchase price was 62,000 for a 2-bed terraced property in the north, and where I'd split from the business partner, my budget was not as big as what we'd normally have. So £20,000 was the maximum for the budget. So found a builder from my friend Justin, and the builder is very, very good. Said to him, my budget is 20 grand. I'd actually done a refurb cost at 19.5. I just got the figures here, but I didn't take that into consideration. So that's one of the first kind of lessons that I've done, that I need to do, which took it to 23,400. So I went to the builder and spoke to him about what I could source myself, and that saved me a few £1,000s from sourcing my own equipment. So looking at kitchens, bathrooms, radiators, even things like switches, plug sockets, all those kind of things. That saved me a couple of £1,000s by doing that myself, and then obviously taking that to the house to be then put together. I had to put the kitchen together myself as it became flat packed. That was from Wix in the end. I know there's other places that you can try, but that ultimately came down to speed and getting it done as quickly as possible, as a good price to get that in. So the actual full refurb came to 22,000 just over. I'll tell you why in a second. But that's kind of what I sourced myself to help get where we need to be. A few problems that came up along the way. I tried to be fancy and pretty much have a fancy bath. Turns out it was a left-sided bath. When the builder then came to fit it, turns out where the shower curtain needed to be in the middle, that was where the window was for the small bathroom. It was quite a narrow bathroom, so the window was bang in the middle, and we obviously had to have a shower screen, which would have then had to go across the window, which wouldn't have worked. Previously, there was a shower curtain, which for the look of the bathroom that we're going for wasn't going to look very good. So in the end, what we had to do is put a stud wall in. I'll put a picture up on the screen here. Put a stud wall in. Had to buy a separate bath, an actual square bath, because otherwise if we'd have flipped it around the other way, the bath wouldn't have fitted where we needed to, because it was in theory a left-hand sided bath. So the extra cost on that was £190. We had to buy a new bath. The stud wall was just under £200 to get done there. A couple of other things that came through. We had a leak after everything had been plastered, painted, etc., which was a mistake from the plumber, I believe, just something not being tightened up effectively. There was little to minimal cost on that, just had to be tightened, let to dry. The ceiling, after we'd had the initial ceiling done in the lounge, I believe it was, a section fell out from the old boarding above, which again was around an £80 cost on the fee there. And off the top of my head, that is all the other problems that we had. Again, so source where you can and look at different trades. I've set up so many different trades for kitchens, bathrooms, and all these kind of things. So that's pretty much how the house went. I'm going to obviously put some pictures up for the before and afters. Will pop up either side of me. And on purchase, my lettings agent had initially said the achievable rent that we get for this particular property was 575. And then obviously with all the other things going on, rental increases, demand in the particular area, we've actually achieved a rent of 625 per calendar month, which I'm over the moon with. As originally at the 575, it was an okay deal, but it wasn't a standout deal. But with that extra kind of £50 rent coming in per month, that I'm really, really happy with to achieve that price for a 2-bed house. Whereas when we started out, we only achieved a 600 rent from a 3-bedroom house around sort of 2 years ago. So with everything the way it's going, I'm really, really pleased with that. I'm looking forward to refinancing this project in the next, I believe, 8 weeks. So again, I'll do another video on what we managed to pull out, what the end valuation is. Currently looking at around 95 to 100,000 on the refinance, but again, only time will tell with that. Just got to put my summary pack together. But that is essentially everything that I've kind of learned and taken away. So source where you can, over budget for your refurb, and just have some contingencies in place for other things that may happen, and do some of the work yourself. I mean, with the rip out that I did, forgot to mention, I went up there for a weekend, ripped out the kitchen, the bathroom, the carpets, any wall hangings that we could, basically anything that we could do easily, with a hammer, a screwdriver, some chisels. We did that to save, I believe, around £400. So I forgot to mention that at the start. So anything that you can do if you are in the earlier stages, or if you're slightly shorter on cash for a potential refurb, then do what you can yourself. But hopefully this has helped if you are early on your journey, as am I, about 2 years in. But as I said, this is the first house that I've done by myself. So if you've got any other questions, I'll put my Instagram below. Hit me up on there or drop a comment in the box below.